just want to share something real quick because the Lord he just
Keep left to the port to stay on I-294 north.
sorry. Keep left. I'm left.
Continue on I-294 north for 5 miles.
Sorry for the GPS instructions. But yeah, so basically, okay, I just dropped my niece off at the airport, right? And so when I'm leaving, you know, it can be kind of crazy and confusing. So I just put in my address in the GPS, and I'm, you know, that way I know I'm going on the right way, you know. I'm not gonna go off on the wrong exit or anything. So I'm following directions, right? I'm being led, and I'm being guided, I'm being instructed, right? So I'm doing good. And then all of a sudden I feel like, okay, I know how to make it home from here. I got this. I can, you know, I can make it from here on my own. Well, all of a sudden, like, and so I turn off the GPS, right? I turn it off. And then all of a sudden, I'm just driving, and I'm starting to realize, like, nothing's looking familiar. I was supposed to be home it said 35 minutes I was going to be home. And so I'm driving, and I want to say 15, 20 minutes. I think I drove 20 minutes before I realized, like, this still looks like Chicago area. Like, nothing was looking familiar. So I'm like, something's not right. Okay, so I type in my address again, and I ended up then it said, instead of the 35 minutes, it said it was going to be 48 minutes to get home. So yeah, and as I'm driving, you know, I'm just like kind of chit-chatting with the Lord a little bit, and I'm like, how did I, you know, I was talking with him, I'm like, how did I go the wrong way? Like, and he told me, you weren't paying attention. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Because I'm like, how did I miss my exit? He's like, you weren't paying attention. And then I'm like, well, oh my gosh, what? He said something so good, like, basically, like, because I'm like, you know, I thought I was going the right direction, you know, and he's like, well, you weren't.
Use the right 2 lanes to take exit 21 for I-88 west, east-west tollway toward Aurora.
So he told me something real good, though. It's because I'm like, how did I, you know, what did I say? Lord help me remember. I'm like, you know, see, look at me now, I'm scared to go the wrong way, but I had to turn my GPS back on, right? So I'm not going to turn it off at this point. I'm going to make sure that I'm being led. But it's like, I said something to him, I'm like, man, now I got to go all this way. I have to go all this way back, you know, like I could have been where I was going already, or like already close to where I was going. And he's like, that's how it is, you know, when you stop letting yourself be led, when you stop letting yourself be guided, when you think that you can do it yourself, you go so long in the wrong direction. And so that creates, you know, that can create delay in your life. That can create, you know, I don't want to say a hindrance, but definitely a delay. Well, I guess hindrance is kind of the same thing, a little bit, you know. I mean, it definitely causes a delay in your life. So
In half a mile, use the right 2 lanes to take
and I'm
exit
like,
39 for I-88 west, east-west tollway toward Aurora.
I'm like, Lord, you're right, you know. Sometimes we think we know it all, and so we stop, we turn off our GPS, we stop letting ourselves be led, stop letting ourselves.
Use the right 2 lanes to take exit 29.
Come on now, I'm trying to preach right now. I'm trying to preach. No, it's like we stop allowing ourselves to be led. We think we know it all, we think we got it all figured out and we start trying to do things on our own without any guidance, without any direction. And before we know it, sometimes we get ourselves way off course, way in the wrong direction. And then, we can always tune back in. We can always reconnect. We can always turn our GPS back on, but we still got to go that distance that, we got to turn around and we got to travel the distance that we, left. It's like, that's why it's really important to stay connected, stay under direction, stay being led, because
Keep left to continue toward I-88 West.
Look at me. You don't want to cause delay in your life. That's what it's so important to be led. Be led by the Holy Spirit. Stay in your word, stay connected. Keep that voice on, that guidance on. Don't turn it off. Don't ignore it. Don't think that you know it all. But yeah, that's all. That's all I wanted to say. I probably could have said it better, but yeah, I just thought, like, this is what I'm saying. He speaks to you through. He can speak to you through whatever. Speak to you. He just spoke to me right now through my mistake of turning my GPS off, thinking I knew where I was going, thinking I had it, like I'm good. And look at me, I went almost 20 minutes in the wrong direction because I turned off the voice that was guiding me. I turned it off. I stopped listening. I stopped paying attention. I stopped being led. I stopped being directed. So don't do that. Don't do it. Don't think you have it all figured out. Don't think that you don't need help. Don't think that you're good, because you might be going in the wrong direction. And thank God that because I wasn't paying attention. I'm just like, oh, I know something's gonna be familiar. And that's what is crazy, because it's like I come out to Chicago all the time because I go to church out here, and somehow I still ended up going the wrong direction when I thought I knew. So it doesn't matter like how familiar you are with a certain situation or a certain atmosphere or whatever. Like, always be plugged in with God. Always be plugged in with the Holy Spirit. Always allow that voice to guide and direct you.